Well, a warm welcome back to the History Show here on Uxbridge FM. And Ken Pearce is here again for another history talk. This one is all about nicknames. When you're ready, Ken.
Right, thanks. Yes. In a recent talk, I touched on the subject of nicknames and suggested they are much less common these days than they were in days gone by. They do appear to survive in groups of people that spend a lot of time together, such as the armed forces or sports teams, and among men rather than women, I suspect. At one time, any man with the surname Taylor was called Tinker. Anyone with the name Clark would be Nobby, and anyone with the name Miller was Dusty. At my secondary school, nearly every teacher had a nickname. Here are some of them: Dutchy, Whacker, Dolly, Sparrow, Leo, Pussy, Squibs, Polly, Whizzer. But let me turn now to some examples from local history. About a century ago, a man in Uxbridge always addressed his friends as neighbour, so that became his nickname. And another used to say happy days to everyone. So neighbour Osborne and Happy Days Parker were well-known local characters. In the early 20th century, Albert Bailey ran a greengrocer's shop in the High Street. And on one occasion, a customer asked for a pound of plums. But when weighed, they were just over that amount. So Albert took a knife and cut a plum in half to reduce the weight to exactly a pound. This act of meanness soon became a subject of local gossip, and Albert was ever afterwards known throughout the town as Split Plum Bailey. In the 1930s, a young man worked in a cafe in the town here and also delivered newspapers. He was sort of an odd job man, really. But he had a speech impediment, and people began to say that he spoke as if he had a plum in his mouth all the time. So eventually everybody knew him as Plum, and hardly anyone knew his real name. At my school, there were two boys with the surname Page, so they became Page 1 and Page 2. Fortunately, they did not have a younger sister. The actor Bernard Miles attended the secondary school in the Greenway, where he was known as Soldier. This was because the Latin word for soldier is miles, M-I-L-E-S. That's where we get the terms military and militia from. Well, I hope the nicknames will survive and that people will remain inventive, as they have done in the past.